Hey guys, I made some hedgerows and made a little slideshow showing you guys how to do it. It's super simple, one of the easiest crafts I've ever done. You might have the stuff laying around the house or you might not, so not really a trash to treasure project. But it's really easy to make, and I think you guys are really going to like the simplicity and how quick it is to make them. I made 2 of them in about less than 20 minutes, and most of that was waiting on the paint to dry. So super simple, super easy. So here's the slideshow. Okay, here are the tongue depressors after being primed with the Valspar flat brown primer, like the natural tone for this. It only takes about 10 minutes for them to dry. And here is the cushion that was destroyed by one of my dogs. I'm using the Fibrous stuffing for the main stuffing here on the hedgerow. And here are the tongue depressors after they've dried. I'm now applying 3M Super 77 to the tops of those so that I can then apply the stuffing to the top, and just make sure you got a good firm grip on those. Also, you can pull those up a little bit and make them kind of bushy, for lack of a better word. And here is the Woodland Scenics Course Turf medium green that I'm using to represent the leaves and to do the final coat. So we'll want to do 2 or 3 coats. I actually did 3 coats on this one with the 3M Super 77. You simply spray down the stuffing all around, and you really don't need too thick of a spray on it. And then you simply sprinkle the coarse turf on it, and you end up with this. And it's a nice texture, and of course you can form the whole thing with your hands after you've applied the glue and after you've applied the turf. Good stuff. There's a close-up. Hope you guys enjoyed the slideshow. This is definitely crafting on the cheap. The most expensive part of this project is the 3M Super 77 glue spray, which is a little bit more than $1 per ounce, I believe is what it works out to be. But I have like the really large can of it, and it'll last for a long time. And you can use it for all sorts of projects around the house, not just the crafting that you might do for your gaming. So it's really it's a really good spray adhesive. It says professional quality. I believe it. I've been very impressed with the results on different projects that I've done with it so far. And of course you need the other ingredients in the mix too to make the hedgerow happen. But if you don't have a dog who's torn up one of your cushions lately, you could probably use cotton for this. I haven't tried cotton yet, but I've tried it for various other projects that are very similar, and it's worked great. So I would imagine cotton balls would work fine. You might want to pull the cotton balls apart a little bit to make them a little, bring them out a little bit, make it a little bit airier. And you'll notice too, when you spray the whatever fibrous stuffing that you're using for this, when you spray it with the glue adhesive, you can mold it with your hands and bring it down. So you'll want to have a little bit more stuffing. You want it to be kind of bushy at first, because it will come down some once you've sprayed the glue adhesive on it. And then of course you just apply the turf, and 2 or 3 times and you're done. Another thing I really like about this project and the different ingredients that you use, especially the spray adhesive, is you can do 1 or 2 coats, a light coating of the turf, and you can make it more of a weed, kind of a thicket. So you would show more of the fibrous, more of the fibers, and which would obviously represent twigs and branches, right? So you'd have less leaves showing. So it could be maybe a hedgerow that's dying, or it could be one that's just really unkept and it's kind of turned into a thicket, or it could just be some sort of like a weed wall. So there's different levels to this. So if you want it to look like a hedge, and I like the hedge. Now you can make it as nice as you want it to be, nice and trim and so forth. Or you can, I try to squeeze it all sorts of, I like the texture. I like, I don't like a nice smooth line on these. I want it to look like a hedgerow that's a little bit, maybe it needs a little more maintaining, or maybe it's been left for Mother Nature to take over, and somebody originally planted it years ago, and it hasn't been maintained. So I like that. I like the texture look. So there's all sorts of different ways you can do this. This is just one way, and the glue I think is the main thing that allows, and the different fibers you might use would allow for different molding and mending and forming with your hands and so forth to make whatever look you're looking for. So different levels of turf application, different numbers. Maybe instead of 1 application you do 4. So 4 would be really thick. 1 would be more like a weed wall or some sort of, you know, briar thicket or something. So lots of different things you can do with this. Lots of different variations available, but I really like this variation here. I was really impressed with the texture, and of course the Woodland Scenics Course Turf is really good stuff. So that really, I think, brings it out more than anything. But you can use any kind of turf that you like. You can even use your own homemade flock on this. So if you've got some green tea leaves or something like that, and maybe some pencil shavings, and you throw some paint on them and paint them different colors, you could make you know, all sorts of variations in color, texture, and form. So really good stuff. Hope you guys liked it. If so, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks, guys.